Good morning, Senator Gaston, Representative Boyd, and the ranking members Howard and Ciccarella. I am State Senator Tony Hwang, representing the 28th District, and I am offering testimony in support of Senate Bill 403, an act concerning cybersecurity. I have submitted written testimony, and I will just kind of provide some overlook of this issue. And I think the critical part for me is to kind of raise the awareness of cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity is such a critical public safety consideration, but it is needed to be thought of in the same parallel as artificial intelligence. AI has dominated the thoughts and minds of policy, but also marketplace. It is everywhere and everything you see. AI, artificial intelligence. But we've not spoken enough about cybersecurity. And I think it is important, and I want to thank the committee leadership for raising this bill, because I truly believe it needs to be brought up in concert in a proactive policy analysis. I think when you hear AI, how it's going to dominate and impact so many and all aspects of our lives, cybersecurity will also do that, but much more profoundly and not nearly as sexy as AI, in the sense that when you look at cybersecurity and its impact in regards to national security, from international to national, and some cases an example of our power grid impact, our military standings, as well as data breaches that impact so many of the members of our community and residents' life. It's a public safety concern. But then let's move it to a more local level. We have seen impact in regards to municipalities that have been put into kind of the requirements of just hacking a system that we saw most recently in New Britain, as well as the documented cases of Atlanta, in which hacking has occurred and ransomware was demanded, and if not, the entire operational shutdown has occurred. I don't think people fully realize how dependent we are in regards to technology. So on a national, but also on a local level, not only our municipalities, but think of our individuals. The clickbaits that we get, that all of a sudden our individual screens pop up and say, you need to do this, you're being ransomware. It happens so often. And I think one of the critical components is to raise greater awareness. And so again, I want to thank the committee and the leadership for raising it. But I think some of the components of this bill is critical, and I'd like to offer some additional comments on it. I think the first one is to address the National Institute of Standards and Technology. I think it's a wonderful platform to follow that national standards, but it is important to note for this legislature and this body to recognize there is no national policy in regards to cybersecurity. And what you're doing through this bill is truly a leading factor in raising awareness on a state level and taking issues and proactive action. I think having that as a guideline articulated in this bill is an important part to set the baseline, but nevertheless, I think it's important this bill moves forward and is implemented because there are no national policy guidelines as it relates to cybersecurity. It's very much a patchwork and industry specific. And we're very beneficial in this state because we have military, we have great financial services, we have power grids. These private companies have been head and shoulders above many other industries, particularly government, in regards to cybersecurity threats. Some of those actions that they have undertaken and proactiveness has not been public. It is that kind of level. And so for me, it is important for us in government to address those relative issues. One of the other sections of this bill is to require a 72-hour reporting instead of the 4-day reporting. But it is only specific for private sectors, security, exchanges requirements. We have no such requirement for the municipalities. And it's remarkable, if it's been publicly displayed, and it hasn't been, that many of our municipalities have gone through examples of ransomware. The latest case, as I cited earlier, is New Britain, which has paralyzed their ability to do business and had to pay the ransomware. I want to applaud the state as well as our local law enforcement authorities. DESP has an incredible talent in regards to cybersecurity, as well as working in concert with the FBI, as well as our local police. But nevertheless, as a policy legislative body making, we've not provided a guideline and a template moving forward. I think the other critical factor is I want to appreciate the committee for its leadership in reforming the State Cybersecurity Intelligence Task Force. This concept was passed in 2023 under Public Act 23-23, but unfortunately, it was never convened as a task force, and I appreciate the committee leadership for raising that bill. But ultimately, I think for me, it is to raise the awareness. I want to thank the leadership of this committee to do so. But nevertheless, I wanted to be able to offer my support and raise awareness and urge passing this bill. I'm happy to answer any particular questions. And I want to thank the leadership for raising this bill.